Are you feeling tired, gaining weight, and feeling like you're losing your drive? Well, let me tell you, you're not alone, and what you're struggling is way more common than what you might think. You might struggle with low testosterone. And no, the goal of this video is not to tell you that you should eat less and move more, or calories in, calories out, because the reason why you're struggling with that stubborn belly fat might be excessive inflammation in your body, might be low testosterone, might be high cortisol. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes that you're probably making and how to address them and finally fix that problem. And I'll be honest, I seriously believe that if you watch this video until the end, you'll be able to apply these 5 things as soon as possible and start seeing results without any TRT, without any crazy supplements, and in a sustainable way. And let me be honest, if you watch the whole video, this might be the one that will literally change your life, change your energy levels, and finally make you break that plateau that you've been facing over the last couple of years, which is you've been trying different diets, different workouts, and you can't seem to see any results. So I'm not going to talk about a specific workout routine or a specific nutritional plan or anything like that, but these 5 things that I'm going to tell you will definitely help you fix your energy, fix your body composition, and give you that extra edge that you're looking for. And by the way, I'm going to give you one at the end, which is probably the most important one and the most neglected one. Okay, so without further ado, number 1, the main problem that I see is poor sleep habits. And I know, as cliche as this sounds, sleep is the number 1 thing that you need to fix, because I've seen this over and over, and it's a huge mistake. And even though I'm talking about this, I'm going to continue seeing people doing it, which is they train 5 or 6 days a week, they do their cardio, they do their strength training, and they're sleeping 5 hours and a half, 6 hours, sleep deprived. And I don't want to go in detail in sleep, but I want you to understand something, okay? Your sleep, you have the restorative sleep, which is the most restores your body, which is the REM sleep and the deep sleep. REM sleep is more for cognition, more for solidify your memories. And then you have the deep sleep, which is where you release testosterone, growth hormone, where your body actually repairs. Okay, so the problem with that is that most people are sleep deprived. So they're running on a bunch of caffeine, they eat before bed, they drink before bed. So this messes up their sleep or their stress, or they're on the phone before bed as well. So the number 1 thing that you need to fix in order to fix your body composition, your health, your mood, literally everything is your sleep. What can you do? For example, no screens 1 hour before bed. Put your room dark, cold. Usually I sleep with 19 degrees Celsius, 19 to 20 degrees Celsius, sometimes even 18. So I use a blind as well and some earbuds as well so that I don't listen anything. So sleep is sacred. I try to maximize my sleep. Around 9, I'm starting to wind down. I try to go to bed. I've been trying to go to bed like 9:20, 9:30, maximum 9:45. And I try to be asleep by then, maximum 10. Because between 10 and midnight or 10 and 1 a.m., this is where your body will produce more growth hormone, more testosterone. So you want to maximize this. So it's not the same to get 8 hours sleep from, let's say, from 10 to 6, than from getting to midnight to 8 a.m. So I know you're getting the same 8 hours, but in terms of hormonal profile, is way more beneficial if you get the sleep, your deep sleep, earlier in the night, because that's where your body will produce more testosterone and more growth hormone. So this is the number 1 thing that you need to fix is your sleep. Okay, get morning sunlight. Don't eat 2 hours before bed. Avoid screens as well before going to bed. Don't be on your phone. Use some blue light blocking glasses as well. Take some magnesium. There are so many things here that you can do to improve your sleep, and that's not the goal of this video. But if you want me to do a video just about sleep, I'll be more than happy to do it. Just comment down below and I'll just record a video about how you can improve sleep, so we can dive on that in detail. So that's number 1 thing. Fix your sleep, prioritize it. If you're training 5 days a week and sleeping 6 hours, train 3 days a week or 2 days and have a couple of naps, or simply try to fix your sleep, because that will literally improve your body composition, your energy. So you need to fix the foundation. So what I want you to understand here is that what we're going to be talking about today is imagine a foundation, a pyramid, where you have the base of the pyramid and then you have the top. So what's the top? Supposedly it's the last thing that you build, right? So you don't start building a pyramid from the top. And sometimes people worry with the top, which is the supplements, which is the best workout routine, it doesn't matter. Of course, it's important, but when the other 80% or 90% is dialed in, which is the base of the pyramid, which is your sleep. The second thing that I see is a sedentary lifestyle. Okay, people are just sitting a lot on screens, on the phone, inside, so indoors. So you want to prevent this. You want to walk as much as you can. So you don't need to be all the time walking, but you need to aim for 10,000 steps. And I know probably you've listened to this 10,000 steps. How can you get 10,000 steps? So by the way, one thing that a lot of clients ask me, a lot of people ask me is, oh, I don't have for 10,000 steps. It takes like 1 hour or something. You don't need to do 10,000 steps in a row. Okay, 10,000 steps is throughout the day. It's just get a tracker. I'm using Whoop, but you have like Fitbit, Apple Watch, so many other devices, like, or even a pedometer if you don't want to use any watch. Just track your steps. Start tracking your steps. Get 10,000, 12,000. Like the more steps you get, the better. Okay, it will help you burn more fat. Okay, it will help you with your testosterone levels as well, with your mood, with your concentration. So it's super important because, again, I've seen this over and over. People get 5-6 workouts and they're getting 4,000 steps or 5,000 steps or even less. I spoke with people that are getting like 2,000 steps per day. So that's your main priority. So after sleep is make your 10,000 steps non-negotiable. If you can get more, even better. How can you get 10,000 steps throughout the day? As soon as you wake up, go for a walk. 15-minute fasted walk or 20 minutes or even 10 minutes. So what we want is you having the awareness of moving as much as you can every time. So be aware of that. So 10 minutes in the morning or 15 minutes in the morning in a fasted state, then avoid sitting. So just walk. Like when you have some calls, just walk. Like go somewhere, walk around, drink more water. You go more times to the restroom as well. If you need to be on your phone sending messages, don't just sit, walk around. All these things compound over time, okay? Because remember, one thing, workouts are, if a workout is like 45 minutes, that's around, I'm not quite sure, maybe 4% or 5% of your day. What are you doing the other 23 hours of the day? That's what I want you to understand. Yes, workouts are important, but don't underestimate what you're doing outside the gym. Your activity levels, your stress levels, your steps, your nutrition, sunlight, like all these things. Again, workouts are important, but get your 10,000 steps. Walk after meals, especially important. If you're eating 3 meals, get 10-minute walk after those 3 meals. You get a 30-minute walk just right there. Okay, so just the fact that you're walking after your meal, it will decrease your insulin levels, it will improve insulin sensitivity, it will decrease your glucose levels, and it will improve your digestion as well, and you get more steps. And when I'm saying this, 10,000 steps, it's important to note something. 10,000 steps means walks. So because again, it's interesting that we're talking about this because 4 or 5 days ago I had a call with a guy, and you're probably watching this. He told me that he was getting 10,000 steps every day, but 5 days a week were running. So he was just running. In the morning he was going to the treadmill and running like a bunch of cardio. In 1 hour he was getting 8 or 9,000 steps. What's the problem with that? Yes, on your watch you're going to be having like 8 or 9 or 10,000 steps by the end of the day. That's crushing your testosterone, that's raising your cortisol. Okay, so that's the importance of you prioritizing walking and not running, because walking, you burn calories, you move your body, but your cortisol levels remain stable and it doesn't affect your testosterone levels. If you're running excessively, if you're doing a bunch of cardio, like brutal HIIT classes, cycling classes, running a lot, like 3, 4, 5 days a week for 1 hour, 45 minutes or hour and a half for, you're raising a lot your cortisol. So every time you're raising your cortisol, you're decreasing your testosterone levels. Okay, so and then you probably end up skinny fat, which you're probably struggling with. That it's way too common. You lose weight, yes, but you lose fat, you lose muscle, you lose your body composition, you have that stubborn belly fat, the love handles, and you hate your body. So 10,000 steps walking, not running. The third thing that I see is, of course, unbalanced diet and lack of protein. Okay, so I see this over and over as well. Lack of protein is a big issue. People struggle to get protein. What I recommend in terms of numbers, 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. So let's put it like this. If you want to be 180 pounds, have 180 grams of protein. If you want to be 200 pounds, have 200 grams of protein. As simple as that. It can be a little bit more, by the way. It can be 1.2, it can be 0.8, a little bit less. So ideally 1. So 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. Okay, 190 pounds is your goal. Aim for 190 grams of protein. And one important thing, don't cut on fats. So you want to cut on processed foods, on refined sugars, on fast food, on sodas, cookies, pastries, seed oils like sunflower oil and all these things. But you don't want to cut on healthy fats, because I've seen this as well happening, which is people go low on fat. You buy all products low in fat or fat-free. You need fats in your diet, okay? But the right type of fats, such as avocados, such as nuts, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, walnuts, almonds, olive oil, ghee, some grass-fed butter. Okay, I'm a big fan of these sources, like extra virgin olive oil. I'm a big fan of these fatty fish such as salmon, but be careful with salmon as well, because not all salmon is made the same. But again, we're not going to talk about it. So ideally, you should go for wild caught, not farmed salmon. But again, you need these high quality fats, because if you're not having fats, your testosterone will be low as well. Okay, because these healthy fats are the ones that will make you produce more testosterone. So don't reduce your fats, like reduce trans fats, okay, from processed food, like processed bread, cookies, pastries, like granola, cereal, all these things, and increase your fat intake from good sources, the ones that I mentioned. And I'm a big fan, by the way, of avocados, Brazil nuts, and macadamia nuts, especially Brazil nuts for men, because it has selenium. Selenium is a precursor of testosterone. So ideally 2 or 3 per day, and don't go crazy on Brazil nuts, because it has a lot of selenium. With 2 or 3 Brazil nuts, depending on the size, you get the daily amount of selenium that you need in your body on a daily basis. So and I was a few days ago as well, like maybe 2 weeks ago, I was speaking with a client and he told me, I love Brazil nuts. I'm eating like 10 Brazil nuts per day. That's way too much, okay? So you don't need 10 Brazil nuts per day. That's way too much. That's even borderline toxic because of the selenium. 2 or 3 per day, sweet spot to get your daily selenium levels. The fourth mistake is chronic stress. And stress is inevitable, but you need to distinguish the good stress and the bad stress. We all are stressed. We have things going on. We have bills to pay, our job, careers, kids, things going on in your life. It's perfectly normal. But what happens with stress is when you're stressed, okay, for example, like lack of sleep, going back again to the first point, lack of sleep will increase your stress levels, it will increase your cortisol levels. That's the perfect storm. That's not what you want to happen in your body. When you have stress in your body, okay, when you're stressed, like job, financial stuff, bills to pay, kid, like all these things, cortisol levels are high. Okay, cortisol is high, and when your cortisol is high, testosterone is low, you're going to accumulate more fat around the belly. It will interfere with your sleep, with your metabolism. It will, like, again, it's the perfect storm. So what can you do to manage stress? Things outside will always happen. So you cannot change the outside, because all these things will happen, but you can change how you face the things that are happening to you. And that's what I'm trying to do. The same way you struggle, I struggle as well. I have things going on. I have like family stuff. I have personal stuff, financial stuff. Like, it's normal, okay? We are all humans, but I try to handle that in a different way, or I try to make those external factors not affect my body and my health, because I am my biggest asset, okay? And if I start to be affected by those things, then my health will crumble, and then everything will crumble, because your health is the number one thing that you need to preserve. And sometimes we just value our health when we don't have it. So how you can manage your stress levels? Simply, like meditation. And again, I'm not preaching here a complicated morning routine, 1 hour or 2 hour morning routine. It's nothing like that. Even 5 minutes deep breathing, even 7 minutes of deep breathing will help you manage your cortisol levels. So inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds. This is box breathing. I try to do it every day. Even 7-10 minutes, okay? It helps me reset my body. I sit down quietly, preferably in the morning, getting some sun, or out drinking my coffee or drinking my water, and I do this deep breathing. A few cycles, you will think about a lot of things. Things will happen. You're gonna be like wandering, and what we call the monkey mind, like you're gonna be thinking of things to do, but at least you're taking some time for yourself. So meditation, 7 to 10 minutes, breathe. Deep breathing will help you manage your cortisol levels. And again, we'll not talk about the sleep, but the sleep is the number one thing as well that will improve your stress. And how can you improve your sleep? By fixing your stress, okay? Because the fact that you're going to meditate deep breathing in the morning or in the evening, or both, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening before bed, will help you calm down your nervous system, and you're going to improve your sleep. So as you can see, these are not separated factors. All these factors that I'm talking about are interrelated. Which brings me to the next one, which is excessive alcohol consumption. I see this a lot, and I usually tell something which is a bit strong, but I'm a firm believer that this is actually true, which is there are two main fat loss killers. Number one is snacking, and by the way, these are not in order, okay? These are both the same. Snacking, which is people are on track 3 meals, but then they're snacking here and there, okay? But we're not going to talk about snacking today. And alcohol. Alcohol kills fat loss and kills your testosterone, and this is by far the number one thing that will kill your testosterone levels and your energy levels. It feels great. You're drinking in the moment, having fun with it. You're gonna feel like crap after. And I'm not talking to a 20-year-old guy that's drinking and going out and all. It's different, okay? I used to drink. I used to go out at night. I used to drink 3-4 glasses. I would like the moment. I would enjoy it. The day after, I would struggle for a couple of hours and I would be fine. Right now, it's not the same. The last time I drank alcohol was like 5 months ago. Yeah, 5 months ago when I was in my country, when I was in Portugal. I went out with some friends. I drank a glass of wine. As simple as that. A glass of wine, and I felt a little bit tipsy because my body is not used, because before that, the last time I drank 2 glasses of wine was 2 years before. So I felt a bit tipsy, but I felt like crap after that. You know, I didn't feel good because it messed up with my sleep. I went to bed later. My REM and deep sleep, I got red recovery on my Whoop. The day after, I felt like crap. It took me like 3 days to recover. So again, alcohol will mess up with everything. Why? First, empty calories. Okay, so if you're consuming alcohol, like it's literally empty calories. So you're probably going to be in a calorie surplus unless you eat less, which I don't recommend. Then it's going to mess up with your REM and deep sleep stages. So it might make you tired. So you might fall asleep faster, but you're going to have a lot of light sleep. Light sleep is not what you want. Of course, it's part of the cycles, but you're going to have a lot of light sleep and less REM and deep. And you want more REM and deep sleep and less light sleep. So it's going to mess up with these hormones, with these sleep cycles, and it will directly affect your testosterone levels. It will affect your energy levels. It will impact your liver health, your gut health. It will increase your cravings as well. That means after drinking alcohol, I'm sure you're going to agree with me. You're not going to crave a salad, right? You're going to crave junk food. So you probably eat like crap. The next day, probably you're going to skip the workout, or your workout is not going to be the same. So again, it's a snowball effect. So if I could give you one advice is cut alcohol completely, or at least stick to 1 or 2 drinks per week. Ideally the same drink, don't do mixtures or cocktails, like 1 or 2 drinks. Make sure you increase your protein intake that day as well. Kind of like absorb a bit better the alcohol and so that the damage is not as big. But ideally, okay, I'm a firm believer that the more you say no to certain things, the better you will be off. It's the same with sugar. So if you say no to sugar, the more you say week by week, month by month, you're not going to crave it anymore. The same thing with alcohol. If you learn how to live without alcohol, you're not going to crave it anymore, and you're not going to need it. It just requires you changing your mindset, saying no for a couple of times, reducing, drink more water, increase your protein intake so that you're not having cravings or these kind of things, but try to say no to alcohol. Again, stick to 1 drink, not more, okay? So if you really need to, because again, I like to give these practical examples. I'm not here to preach alcohol-free. I'm just giving you the advice on, if I had to give you 5 main advices for you to boost your energy, testosterone, and fix your life, these would be the 5 things. But again, I have one client, and actually this was like 1 year ago. As soon as he joined our program, he said to me, Francisco, just to manage expectations, I cannot stop drinking. He's 42 years old. He had fatty liver, bit of belly fat, and he told me, I cannot stop drinking. He's a lawyer, he couldn't stop drinking because he had a lot of social component events, and he would be with clients, entertaining and dinners and all these things. So I totally understand that. What I gave him was tools on how to improve his body composition, be on track while still incorporating those drinks. And that's ultimately what I want for you. By the way, in 8 months, we reversed fatty liver. He doesn't have fatty liver anymore. All his metabolic markers improved. He changed his body massively. He just reduced the drinks. He placed certain drinks strategically in time. He changed the workouts. He changed his habits. So of course, it's not just the end all be all. So if we have this holistic approach, you still can have a drink here and there as long as you're doing the right thing, okay? Because you don't need to be perfect all the time. Now, as promised, we have the bonus tip, which is, as you probably saw, I mentioned this in the middle of the video, but you probably didn't pay attention to it, which is sunlight, okay? This is super, super important and neglected. People are indoors all the time. Get sun, don't be afraid of the sun. What you need is 10, 15, 20 minutes. And now, of course, this will depend a lot on where you are in the world. Okay, so I don't know if you're in Portugal, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Australia, if you're in Sweden, if you're in the US, I don't know. So it depends a lot on where you are, the time of the day. So a lot of people are, oh, what time should I get sun? I don't know, because it depends on where you are. So what I have, for the sake of this video, I can show you something which is an app that I have, which is called the D-Minder. Okay, so I have this app called D-Minder. I don't know, you probably cannot see it, D-Minder. So I choose the location and then I just go outside and I select the amount of skin that I have exposed, the time of the day, and it shows the current angle. So usually here in Dubai, I get vitamin D when the sun is above 30 degrees and always above 30 degrees. So here at this time in Dubai, I get vitamin D from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ideally, I like to get sun from, let's say, 8:30. I don't like to get sun at 12. It's way too hot and the radiation is too high. So ideally, from my case, for the city where I'm currently in, I get sun from 8 to 8:30 a.m. or 8:30 to 9, which is already a bit hot, or it can be even a bit early, like 7:45 to 8. Now, if in your place it's night, you need a little bit later. So again, you can try to download this app. It's called D-Minder, and you can track your vitamin D levels. Super important for your testosterone levels, for your mood, for your sleep, to regulate your circadian rhythm. Super important and not and usually neglected. If you cannot get sun consistently, which most people are vitamin D deficient, which will affect, again, all these things that I just told you, get a vitamin D supplement. 5,000 international units will help you per day. Preferably don't do it in a fasted state. The timing of vitamin D is important, preferably after a fatty breakfast, such as eggs. Okay, so again, not talking about in detail. Eat your eggs, avocado, cottage cheese, you have your breakfast, high protein breakfast, and vitamin D after that if you cannot get sun. Always, even if you cannot get the vitamin D, just get outside in the morning, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, a bit of sunlight in your eyes. It will help you with your circadian rhythm, which will help you with your melatonin levels later on, which will improve your sleep, make you tired at night. As you see, all of these factors are related, and it's not just one. It's not just sunlight, it's not just workouts. It's everything is related. Okay, so guys, this is what I had to talk about today. These were 5 tips plus 1 that you can apply starting from today. Just take a note of this. I hope this was useful. And by the way, if you need any help, I have a full-blown system where all my other guys are getting massive results. You can just apply it in the description below if you want to be part of this winning system, where I'm just going to give you everything, basically. All the workouts, all the protocols, all the nutritional protocols, everything that you need to do in order to get lean, to boost your testosterone levels naturally, without any guesswork. So if you're ready to finally take control of your health, boost your testosterone, and be part of a winning system that will get you lean and defined and double your testosterone levels naturally in the next 6 months, just head to the description down below, and I'll see you very soon on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.